Hello Crazies, welcome back to my channel. I'm Roan. So for this video, I would like to share my opinions about the Ebook Discourse video that was made by Moonlightscrawls. I would put the link of the original video below on the description box, so you could also watch her video for more insights, because I think she put her thoughts and opinions properly in a very eloquent way. I would like to share some things first before I would share my opinions about the topic that she touched upon. As a reader from a third world country, these topics are very dear to me because I, most of the time, would read these kinds of comments on Twitter, these privileged comments. For me, I think those people would never understand our plight from a third world country because they have this thing called a first world privilege. And those people from the first world country, they would never understand us because they would never experience how it's like to live in a third world country with having limited kinds of things that they have on their country. But we should never grow tired on educating those kinds of people, because if we don't hammer these kinds of things on their mind, they would never realize their mistakes on how they share their opinions in their insensitive ways. Anyway, the first topic that Moon has touched upon is, number one, don't read books if you can't buy them. These kinds of comments are very insensitive, and it is a stupid comment because they would never realize how it's like to live in a third world country that has very expensive books that is being sold on its bookstores. Because for them, $20 is nothing for them. $1 is like 25 cents in our country. It's nothing for them. $1 for them is but for us, $1 can buy 1 kilo of rice, or you can buy ulam. I don't know what's the English term for ulam. You can buy a food for $1, but for them it's like a tissue paper. For them it's nothing, but for us it's a very big deal, and that sucks. They would never realize that they are so privileged, and they should be thankful for that, because they have many choices on where to buy books for those kinds of prices, and they have also many options on where to buy their books. Or they have many thrift stores. They have so many bookstores, not like us. I know, because I always went to Fully Book and NBS and Power Books looking for books, but the books are so expensive. So sometimes I just left just with images. I just took pictures of the books that I would want to buy, but it's hella expensive. I'm cringing because I always remember what happens when I went to Fully Book. Like, damn, what's expensive one book? One paper-bound book for 800 pesos. I can buy groceries with that money. Seriously, when I saw these kinds of comments, it just irritates me so much, because that's kind of first world bullshit. Second kind of comment that you will see is, why don't you use libraries then? Because we don't have one. Seriously, those first world countries are so privileged to have those public libraries within their reach, because here in our country, here in the Philippines or third world countries, most of the time our libraries are mostly located on our schools, the universities and colleges, and most of the time the books that you could find there are more on academical books, and most of the time also it's outdated. I remember those days. Academical books are outdated, so you need to buy the books on its original price. Recto saved me. And then, if they have these leisure books, it's mostly old, very old books, and only limited pieces of them. I know, because after I studied on those libraries, on schools, I would like to read these kinds of books that would relax my brains, but alas, I can't find those books that can relax me. So sometimes I rely on ebooks, or I rely on buying books on second-hand bookstores. And the only public library that I know is located on Manila, from a girl that is living in Metro Manila. The only public library that I know, and that is the National Library. And I have not entered that library ever because I think the books that are housed in that library are mostly academical books also, and other historical books that are important in our country. And that sucks. My head is aching just thinking about it. The third one is authors need to be properly compensated. Of course, all of us bookworms or book readers want to help the authors that we love, but the question is, do we all have the capacity to buy those books that we love on its original price? Most of us don't have that capacity. You would mostly prioritize your needs before your wants. You would prioritize buying your food, paying your rent, paying for your education, and everything before buying your wants. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to enjoy our books. We don't want to buy our books. We also made our ways just to indulge our hobbies, our obsession on books. But for a third world country, you need a bigger luck on buying cheap books. It's like a race. I don't know what to say anymore. They are lucky because they have this book outlet. They have these half-price books where they can find these new release books for cheap. But here in the Philippines, oh, it's a big gamble to find those kinds of books. So crazies, I think that is our video for now because I'm a little bit sleepy and I have a headache. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and don't forget to read more and live more and always be safe as always. And again, thank you for watching and bye-bye!
Grabe talaga sila eh. Wala na nga silang masabi ng maayos. First world country nga sila. Hindi naman makapag-isip ng maayos. Ano ba yan? Basa ng basa. Under bookworm daw sila, but they can't advertise properly. Like, what the heck? Reader, pero hindi sila marunong mag-empathize, diba guys? My goodness. That's some kind of global of bullshit.